I think that one of the most impressive statements of Chairman Xi Jinping during his speech was underlining that China is entering new era, socialist with Chinese characteristics. He repeated this word 36 times, new era, and it was one of the most frequently used expressions. It's underlined that this is absolutely key statement. So new era indeed coming here, and indeed Chinese development through socialistic way showed its very clear fruits. For instance, almost 800 million people during this development went out of poverty. It's a basic human right, and this is absolutely essential. It's clearly shown that this model, which is developing in China, working very well. But now it is a new stage of development when things will be developed differently, with educational level, with the fourth industrial revolution, with digitalization of society, with technology innovation. It should be another approach toward development. That it means that it's new model.
China had a fantastic achievement. It was one of the first countries to reduce poverty, extreme poverty by half by 2050. But many countries can learn from China's excellent example. China reduced extreme poverty by economic growth, but economic growth alone will not do it. And China did this by bringing in education and healthcare and social security and a whole range of other good social policies that meant everyone benefited from that economic growth.
Well, as we look ahead in terms of the development inside China, by 2020, the aspiration is to eliminate extreme poverty in all forms in China. And I think that's the vision of the moderately prosperous society. And I think that is very much achievable. I mean, that is a very realistic and achievable goal by 2020. If we've seen the very impressive track record of China in the past in terms of lifting people out of poverty, and now we're looking at 40 million people. And it's very important to have very tailored and targeted policies to reach these people, because they're the ones that have not been reached in the past, and therefore it's more difficult to lift them out of poverty. But I think it's very much achievable. What I think is important is then to look beyond 2020 and to see what are the kind of reforms needed in a country such as China, which is upper middle income and soon will be high income, in terms of looking at the opportunities and the well-being of the population at large.
When we talk about China or the China model, people only look at how China has been achieving rapid economic development. China has been able to build up so mega cities, highways, all good things. But for me, the most successful story, social story, is anti-poverty, poverty reduction, because that related to ordinary people's life. For me, how to judge a society, whether it's a good society, bad society. I think most people will say, looking at how many rich people that a given society has. But for me, I was thinking in other way. When I look at the society, whether it's good or not, I will look into how big population of poor people you still have, right? There are poor people, they're also human life, It's about the humanitarianism. It's about the human rights, right? If our government only can produce a few hundred, a few thousand rich people, but leave, the majority of the population in poverty, I don't think it's a good government. Right? But if the government is able to get a huge population out of poverty, it's a good government. Even less, fewer rich people. So I think it's a crucial part of China's success story.